All right, let's talk about the Garmin 67W. You've probably seen it around, right? It's one of the most popular dash cams you can buy, and it has this one feature that sounds incredible, at least on paper. But there's a pretty shocking truth behind it that you absolutely need to know before you even think about buying one. So let's dive in. So, what's the real deal here? Is this thing actually a premium dash cam that's worth your hard-earned cash, or is it kind of overrated? Stick around because the answer is probably not what you're thinking. I mean, look at what they're promising. It sounds amazing, right? A whopping 180-degree ultra-wide view, all these smart driver alerts, and of course, that premium Garmin reliability everyone talks about. But do these promises actually hold up when the rubber meets the road? Let's find out. Okay, first up, let's tackle its biggest selling point, that ultra-wide view. Because here's the thing, what you gain and how much you can see, you might be losing somewhere really, really important. And believe me, it's a pretty big trade-off. And that really gets you thinking, doesn't it? We're always told that a wider view is better for a dash cam. But is it really? I mean, does seeing more of the road automatically translate to a better, more useful recording? So here it is, the big trade-off. On one hand, yeah, you get this incredible coverage. You can see cars coming from the sides, which is awesome for catching everything. But the catch? The price you pay is detail. The image gets stretched out, that fisheye look. And that makes the most important stuff, like reading a license plate from a distance, way, way harder. And listen, this isn't just me talking theory here. Real people, actual users are seeing this. Like this person on Reddit who said the distortion was so bad, they straight up returned it. I mean, wow, that tells you a lot, doesn't it? Now, let's be fair, the actual video quality itself, it's pretty darn good. You're getting sharp 1440p, which is great. The HDR handles tricky lighting situations really well. And night mode, well, it's decent, not the best out there, but it gets the job done. But here's the key thing to remember. Even though it's way better than a cheap budget cam, that super wide lens is what holds it back from having that crystal clear sharpness you'd get from a true 4K camera. Okay, so enough about the lens for a second. Let's talk about the camera's smart brain, because this thing does a lot more than just hit record. And honestly, this is where the Garmin 67W really starts to shine. It's packed with driver assist features. You've got forward collision warnings, lane departure warnings. It'll even tell you about speed cameras up ahead. Oh, and it has that little go alert for when you're in traffic and not paying attention. That's a level of smarts you just don't see in your average dash cam. But wait, there's more. The smart stuff keeps coming. You get voice control, which is super handy. You just say, "Okay, Garmin, say video," and it's done. It's got GPS built in, so it's always logging your speed and location, which is absolutely vital if you ever need it for evidence. And it all hooks up to the Garmin Drive app through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Just a quick heads up, if you want cloud storage, that's going to be an extra subscription. All right, so we've seen the good stuff, and we've talked about that huge trade-off with the lens. Now it's time to dig into a few of the, let's call them hidden drawbacks. These are some really important truths you have to know before you pull the trigger on this thing. Truth number one, and this one's simple but super important, it only records what's in front of you. That's it. This is a front-only camera. So if you're looking for protection from, being rear-ended, you're going to have to buy a whole separate camera system. And yeah, I'm going to say it again because it's that important. Truth number two, that wide angle kills sharpness. Even though it's recording in 1440p, the distortion means that the single most important piece of evidence you might need, a license plate, could be just a blurry mess from a distance. Okay, truth number three, and this is a big one, reliability. Look, most people seem to have a good experience, but there are enough reports out there of the camera just failing, not recording when it was supposed to, or the app being super slow and a pain to use. It might not happen to everyone, but man, if it happens to you, that's a huge problem. I mean, this is literally the nightmare scenario, right? Imagine getting into an accident and then you find out, like this Reddit user did, that the camera didn't record anything when needed. And on top of that, the app was slow and frustrating. That is the absolute worst-case scenario for a device that's supposed to have your back. And for our last truth, there's a funny bit of irony here. Remember all those fancy smart alerts we talked about? Well, for some drivers, they turn into this constant symphony of beeps and warnings. They can actually end up being more of a distraction than a help, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Okay, so we've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's wrap this all up and get to the final verdict. Who is this dash cam actually for? Let's just break it down. Simple pros and cons. On the pro side, you've got that ultra-wide coverage, solid video quality with GPS, all those cool voice controls and safety alerts, and it's tiny and easy to hide. But the cons, they're pretty serious. No rear camera, that fisheye distortion, it's not true 4K, and you've got those reports of app and reliability problems. So who should buy this? Here's the deal. You should totally get this if what you care about most is getting the widest possible view out your front windshield and you love the idea of all those smart driving alerts. But you should definitely not buy this if you need front and rear recording, if crystal clear license plates are non-negotiable for you, or if you just plain hate that stretched out wide-angle video. So when we put it all together, what's our final score? We're giving the Garmin Dash Cam 67W a very solid 4.3 out of 5. Look, it's a really good product for the right person, but it's just held back from being truly amazing by that one major trade-off. And that really brings us to the final, shocking truth of this camera. More view doesn't always mean better detail. And this dash cam is the perfect proof of that. It basically forces you to make a choice. Do you want to see everything? Or do you want to clearly see the one thing that might matter most? It's a tough call.